Welcome to Two Small Biz Guys Biz Buzz. Stay tuned for an exciting small business discussion that will empower your business. And don't forget your free download of Ray's Crib Notes. Now, on with the show.
Well, welcome back to another episode or clip of Two Small Biz Guys sponsoring Biz Buzz with Ray and Zen. And we're also being sponsored by peer advisory boards that Ray runs. Today we're going to be talking about the book called Escape Velocity and specifically the power structure.
Right. Well, it's an interesting book because this is by Geoffrey Moore, if you heard of Moore's Law.
Mm-hmm.
And he has some interesting thoughts. It's basically written for companies that are...
So Moore's Law, just I know what it is, but our viewers may not. What is it?
Well, basically, Moore's Law was developed, I think, in 1964 and 1967. When he was interviewed by Electronic Magazine saying, how fast do you think, he could... I forgot the advice he was making now.
But he was the CEO of Intel at the time, right?
And how fast would the devices increase with the speed? And he thought they would double every 18 to 24 months. And that was for the next 10 years. So that was back in the early 60s. And that was...
And they did that and then some.
But basically did that and then some. So it sounds like Chinese.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's been doing that for over 50 years. So right now you have a very different society. But the aspect here is this book is written primarily for technical type products, but I think that there's basic things here.
The hierarchy of powers.
Hierarchy of power, I think, is really a very basic thing or fundamental thing you should think about in your business.
So what do you mean by the hierarchy of power?
Well, he talks about, I'm talking about his thoughts. So he talks about, what are the 5 different powers that drive your business? So the first aspect, he talks about category power. And the category power is what categories are you in? For example, when I used to be in lease manufacturing mechanics.
What's your market segment then?
Yeah, what's your market segment? So we used to be in the tool business. So the segments used to be the automotive aftermarket, the electronics market, refrigeration and air conditioning markets. Each one of those were different market distribution channels. Each one was separate and distinct. So they
each had different products and or services that went along with it.
Right. So the aspect there is, you say, what was the category power that we had in that one? How much demand? And then the aspect was, is that category growing or shrinking or just staying the same?
So the demand is the real power.
The demand, right. So because a lot of small businesses, at least when I work with a lot of these companies, they say, at the beginning of the year, we say, let's talk about what are your expectations for this coming year?
Mm-hmm.
So they say, well, I think our sales are going to go up 10%. Okay, that's nice, but why? How? So the first aspect you have to ask yourself, am I in a category that's going to expand by 10%? Because if you're not in a category that's going to expand by 10%, it's very hard to get it. So the question is, what category am I really in? And what is going to happen with that category? Because that category drives your business. So the next thing you say within the category, where is the power of my company within that category? So for example, we used to look back and we say, well, in one marketplace, we have an 80% market share.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we can drive, if that category is driving a lot, we're going to benefit a lot. In another market share, we have a 10% market share. So if that category grows, we're going to not grow so much. So also if the category shrinks, I'm going to get hit in the 80% when I'm going to get hit a lot. In the 10% when I'm not going to get hit that badly.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what is your company power within a category? Okay, the third one is, what is your marketing power within that category? So when you have, how much can you really market to improve your position within the category? Okay. And the fourth one is, if you make an offer, what is your offering that you can make within that category? It's kind of part of the marketing activity. And the last one is execution, which is how good you really function
How
Do you
good,
ship on
yeah,
time?
how good are you at
Yeah.
what you do?
Yeah, how good are you? It's internal. But I think that the aspect is that most people do not sit down and think about what is a category?
Right.
Am I in a business that's growing? Am I in a category that's growing? Am I in a category that's shrinking? If the category shrink, then the question is, okay, what are the strategies? In shrinking, you say, do I sell the business? Do I want to buy other companies within the category so I can last longer? Or do I just want to milk the product? In other words, be out there, eliminate all my overhead, eliminate my R&D in this area, eliminate everything, just sell the product while it exists. And milk
And look for the next opportunity.
and look for the next. That means you have to say, if I'm in a category that's going the wrong way, you have to say, okay, what category can I go into that's going the right way?
Speaking of going into and opportunities and what's next, you can actually download the crib notes from the book that Ray wrote, which are excellent. Explains the powers in much more detail, according to Geoffrey Moore, anyway. And you can get that.
Bigger words.
Yeah, they're bigger words. So you can get those at peeradvisoryboard.com/escape. Pretty simple. peeradvisoryboard.com/escape.
And I would say, I think this book is one of necessity to read, even though you may not think it applies to you because of the technology orientation. But if you go back to the hierarchy, I think that you'll find, no matter what the size of your business, it really applies to you.
There's a lot of books that you've read crib notes about. We've discussed both with BizBuzz and with Two Small Biz Guys, which is also where you'll be able to see these, is twosmallbizguys.com. And that is part of the process of being able to glean what serves you, what's important, the information from each of these books that's applicable to your business. And you're going to find something in them, because everything that these guys talk about, there's some aspect of it that will apply directly to your business and will help you to grow, not only in your understanding of how to run the business, but in your ability to execute what it is you do better and develop your market share.
Right, and also, most importantly, make you think. Because the small business owner is so busy doing, they don't always step back and think. And this hierarchy of power is an exercise in really thinking.
And the other opportunity that they have is the peer advisory boards. We've just started the online virtual peer advisory boards that we've already gotten comments from the participants of how it feels like you're in the same room. You're able to share thoughts and impressions and share concerns and answers and potential solutions. And it's just a really great opportunity to develop your ability to step back from what you're doing and think. And especially if other people are giving you their feedback on challenges that you might have and other opportunities that you might explore to meet those challenges. Thinking is good.
Yeah, that was a paid commercial, but Zen does a good job. But if people also want to get our other crib notes of other books, where do they go?
You can go to twosmallbizguys.com and you'll see all the interviews there. We've got probably over 2 years worth of radio shows that we've done that are a little more expansive than these short topics.
They don't get to see us.
No, you don't. You get to hear us. Sometimes we're punny, and sometimes we're thoughtful, and every once in a while you'll have a little bit of wit and wisdom to get together if we can talk.
Okay.
So, what in the aspect of, to use one of your favorite words, in the aspect of this overarching hierarchy of power, what does that mean for the organization and how it can implement that understanding to grow?
Well, what it really means is what is going to be your business plan and what is your strategy of where you're going to go. Now, Geoffrey Moore, he talks about when going back in Intel, at one time back in the 60s or 70s, they were very strong in the one market.
Mm-hmm.
And he believes in his planning that you start off the next year with not looking at the results of the past year, because he doesn't want to bias his thinking. So he asked his president at the time, if we were starting from scratch, what market would you go into? And he, at that time, I think it was semiconductors that they selected, which they had a very small market share at the time. But that market grew far faster than the existing market that they were in. So if they had really put their emphasis into the existing market, they wouldn't have become the power that they became. So what they really did is they went back and they said, okay, what category are we in? Was there power in that category? He said, no, there wasn't that much power. What category is there power? That's where we want to go. And then once we decide we want to go there, okay, how do we do it? So when you get involved in a strategic planning, the three questions are, what is my business, what should my business be, and how do I get there? So he was answering, what should my business be? And then he said, okay, how do I get there? I need a certain amount of resources, I need engineering, I need technology, I need...
And the previous business supplied that.
Right, or I need capital.
Right.
So all of a sudden now you have these increments and moves us forward. So I think that this is where it becomes very important if you really want to think about the business where you want to go.
And to be able to think more about where you're going, just head over to peeradvisoryboard.com/escape, and you can download the crib notes from the book and find out more about how we might be able to help you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zen,
And Ray.
And we do so well together as Biz Buddies.
Biz Buddies.
Biz Buddies. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next
Thanks for watching Two Small Biz Guys Biz Buzz, brought to you by Pro Peer Advisory Board. Stay tuned for more exciting small business discussions in future episodes. And don't forget your free download of Ray's Crib Notes for this show. See you next time.